Good day, dear friends. Good day, family of the sapient, sapiens, knowledge, sapiens, Homo sapiens. You are sensate. You are sapient. You are thinking. Remember, let's start off with the affirmation of who we are. I know this sounds crazy, but remember where we're going today. Remember our focus. This is what you should do every day. It's not so much, you can call it a prayer if you like. You can call it self affirmation. You can call it a reading a credo. I don't know, but whatever you want to call it, start off with the idea of what you're going to do, how you're going to live your life, and the way you're kind of what your philosophy is. There was a saying, it was attributed to somebody unknown. Well, this unknown guy sure said a lot. And the saying is that when things change inside you, things change around you. And before we change the world and do everything regarding, the world and politics and the liberals, before we do all this, we have to make sure we have our own particular bearing. Make sure you're okay. Make sure you're focused. That's all. And by the way, this isn't something where you have to feel like, oh my God, I'm sapient. There's always improvement. Just focus first on you and then move out. If you're happy inside, good. Or if you're trying to get happy, then you worry about things. Then you worry about the missing votes in 2020. Then you worry about whether Carrie Lake was cheated. Then you worry about that. Start with you first and then move out. That's all. It's like when you're cleaning a house. They always tell you start in the middle and move out, and there's different strategies. So, my friends, before we begin today's delving into the truth, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for being with us. Make sure you are subscribed to Lionel Nation. Make sure you are to Lionel Nation, which is where you are right here. Because sometimes people are, for some particular reason, unsubscribed to our new members. Many of you we came over from did a show last night with Sean Atwood, and oh my God, and Ron, and it was just one of the most fascinating assemblages of energy. It's almost it's like being in a revival, and I'll be posting that and reminding you of that. But in any event, dear friends, before we begin, please, I ask you, I beg, beseech, and entreat, suggest, ask, beg that you listen to this very, very important word from our very, very important sponsor. All right, let's be honest. Society isn't exactly celebrating traditional masculinity these days. Being strong, being a provider, being a leader. These aren't just old-fashioned values. They're part of our DNA as men. But something's working against us. And that's the constant attacks being waged on our testosterone levels. That's right. The core hormone that makes us who we are as men could be getting hit from all angles. Processed foods, environmental toxins, the constant stress of modern life. But here's what recent clinical research has discovered. All those attacks could culminate and arise in your stress hormone called cortisol. That could be blocking your natural testosterone from reaching its potential. Think about it. Your body wants to be strong and vital and powerful, but it's being held back. That's why our friends at Sculpt Nation developed Test Boost. They've created something that works with your body's natural processes using 8 powerful natural ingredients to help you reclaim what's rightfully yours. We're talking about getting back to being the man you're meant to be. Their customers are reporting what real men want: more strength, better performance, improved energy levels. No weak, watered-down solution, just natural ingredients that work. Take back your masculine edge right now. Go to sculptnation.com/Lionel and save up to 51% off your first order. That's sculptnation.com/Lionel. The link in the description section is provided. Go there now. Don't wait. This deal could expire soon, and you've got nothing to lose with their money-back guarantee. One more time, sculptnation.com/Lionel. All right, dear friends, I want you to remember today also, one of our themes is going to be the tabula rasa, the blank slate. Little analogy, the other day I had an external hard drive. It wouldn't back up. I have Mac and the time machine wasn't working. And it's like, this backup failed and this failed and that failed. What I needed to do was The hard drive was just all screwed up. So I formatted it, just erased it, rehooked it up. Works fine now. We are so much, and you are so clogged and so filled with so much stuff, you can't figure out what's going on anymore. You're a little bit of this, you're angry about this, so you don't know about the voting, and so much. And you can see, by the way, from the live commentary, sometimes people will just throw things out, always doing one of two things. First of all, saying, "I'm here, I'm here. Notice me, notice me. Look, I know this, I know this, I know about DARPA, I know about HARP, I know about the Frankfurt School, and always some particular not trivial, but some reference to Arcana. I know what I'm talking about. There are other people who sit back and very calmly, they watch. Other people will be listening to this in their car or on their phones. Remember we had Walkmen or Walkmans in any event. It's different. But you're being clogged. Like I mentioned, the Bezor, this hairball. Just relax. Let's clear that drive, reformat it, and start anew. You don't have to believe in anything. Use as few labels as possible. Please do not tell me you're a black man or a white man or a gay man or a Republican or whatever. Stop for a second, because once you say that, you've already pigeonholed yourself. You've already told me, okay, so you're going to be seeing yourself within that particular prism. That's what you're doing. I tell people proudly, I have no party. I have no party. I have right now an absolute, I love this Trump feller the way I like sometimes when I was a kid. I liked kind of interesting bands. I love being an outlier. But you know what? I'm not an outlier anymore. The old days when you were a Trump fan, by the way, not Trump fan, but a Trump ideology or Trump candidacy, you were on your own. It was more fun. It was exclusive. It was exclusive. Oh my God, Today, everybody's walking around. They got their hats. Oh, really? Where have you been? Oh, no, I was for him. Really? So I'm not a Trump fan. I'm not an acolyte. He's not my savior. He works for me now. He is my servant. He is my public servant. Let me remind you of this. Let's start off with a couple of things, shall we? First and foremost, many of us know, those of us who have been in the business. There was a fellow named Edward Ray Griffin. I think he's 93 right now. Edward Ray Griffin. When you first start into and I'm going to say this just for purposes of shorthand, when you get into the conspiracist realm, into the church of, when I use that word, that's a shorthand for saying, that's like when somebody says Christian. You want to compare a Lutheran with an evangelical or a charismatic Catholic? No. You may share Christianity as a basis, but there is nothing, you have nothing in common. That's like saying, oh, Spanish. Oh, so a Puerto Rican is the same as somebody from Asturias. No. So in any event, when you get into the world of this conspiracy, as we are called, fine, whatever, embrace it. If somebody calls you a word, embrace it. Little timeout. Remember when gay folks would go, you're queer. You know what they did? We got it. We took it. We're queer. Oh, what? We're is ours now. What do you mean that's ours? You're calling yourself queer? Yeah. Wait a minute. But what pejorative do we have? Well, we have that F word, the bundle of sticks in the British cigarette. They took that too. What? The N word. Black folks said, you know what? Does that stink? We own it now. And we're going to use it and use it and use it. And guess what? Nobody wants to use it anymore. It doesn't exist except in the world of the Black community. So conspiracy, embrace it. I tell people, oh no, like Gore Vidal says, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy analyst. I analyze actual conspiracies. Don't forget, conspiracies, as you know, are confederations, agreements between two or more people to bring about something which is either wrong, what have you. So anyway, also conspiracies from the Latin conspirare, to breathe together. It deals with the organizational unit, not the theory. Okay, so Edward Ray Griffin if you get into 9/11 stuff, you find yourself, you're thrown into it. And he is one of the people that you are brought to. And this one was making its round today. This was, I don't know what year this was, but listen very carefully to this. And I want you to hear something. This is about how the enemy uses propaganda. Very carefully. Listen.
1943, the following directive was issued from party headquarters to all communists in the United States. It read, "When certain obstructionists become too irritating, label them after suitable buildups as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic, and use the prestige of anti-fascist and tolerance organizations to discredit them. In the public mind, constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become fact in the public mind."
Do you hear that? Now, this is one of the terms. This is critical. Many of you wonderful folks are in for the first time, and of course, we welcome you. And remember, tabula rasa, format your disc. Just open your mind. Don't. Just listen to what I'm saying. The first thing that I want to do is, if I want to control something, I control the words. I control what you call it. That's all. If somebody said, "What are you on?" "I'm on the Scarsdale diet." "The what?" "The Stillman diet." "The what?" "The Atkins diet." "The what?" "The paleo diet." "The what?" "The keto diet." "The what?" Same thing. Oh, there's some differences. Doesn't that sound great? You want to go on the Stillman diet or the paleo diet? Huh? Doesn't it sound good? Remember that? Sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. That sounds good. What if I said to you, "I'm taking this thing right now. I'm into martial arts." "Yeah, what is it?" "It's Israeli combat." "Ooh, Krav Maga." "Yeah, sort of, but it's like it's Brazilian." "Oh, it's Brazilian? Brazilian? Yeah." "What about you, Dave? What are you doing?" "I'm studying Polish martial arts." "What?" See? See? What's with Polish? I don't know. We were talking yesterday. We were having the most important conversation yesterday. It was absolutely incredible. And it's a very brave woman named Natanya. And we're talking about how words are used and how people use the words and how they are phrased. And one of the things which is important is that she told a harrowing story, which you'll talk about this, but a terrible story about how she was shot in here. She was shot in the face. Very, very famous. She was involved in the famous shooting involving Diddy and we'll wait for you to watch this. You must listen to her words. By the way, Sean Atwood is just incredible. It's just absolutely Sean and Ron. It was life changing, life transforming. So anyway, as we were talking, and please bear with me. There's a reason for this. Sometimes I meet these poor people who say, "He's veering." I'm not veering. I'm telling you a story. There's chapters to this. There's sentences and paragraphs. And just wait. I said, always refer to yourself as being shot in the head. I'm sorry to say this. It's different. When you talk about shot in the nose, no. I'm saying that. If you're trying to convey something, shot in the nose, no. Was Donald Trump shot in the head or shot in the ear? What's the ear connected to? Well, the head. But it was the ear. The minimalists, the people who hate him, the woke, radical left, nihilistic, whatever these people are, they always say, "He was in the ear. He was in the ear. He was in the ear." There he is. Rise and shine, CD. Thank you, my friend. Absolutely. This is the most important thing in the world. So they use that. I represented a woman one time who was alleged to have shot somebody 5 times in the face. We called it the face versus the head. What does this mean? When you call something the head, you think John Kennedy. You think, oh my God. You think of the Godfather. If you say shot in the face, shot in the nose, shot in my cheek. Where were you shot? In the scalp. The scalp. Yeah, the scalp and the brain but yeah, there was what you call something is critical. Now, here's the important thing. They're going to call you a fascist, a Nazi. We call them commies, socialists, Marxists. We use labels left and right. So, rule number 1 today, remember, let them call you what they want. You can't demand otherwise, but you can demand something to an extent. Ask them to please define it. Listen to me when I tell you this. I've told you this before, and I'm going to say it again. You're a Nazi. What does that mean? You're a Nazi. You mean a fascist? A fascist? You understand this? A fascist? You mean like Mussolini fascist? Like Gentile fascist? What do you mean fascist? The fascisti? And immediately, when you do this, you've disarmed them. You've paralyzed them. They don't know what to say. Go ahead. Call me what you want, but I want to make sure I understand this. Totalitarian? Well, I hear people all the time, they say, and the liberals are into communism, and the communists. Really? That's the way communism was. You ever been to Haiti, Guatemala? Nice paper. Those are not communist countries. You want to live in Haiti? It's not communist, not socialist. You mean totalitarian? You mean authoritarian? What do you want? We live in the most wonderful, beautiful country in the world. Out of liberty with the Constitution, we are the most repressed. You are absolutely, positively stifled, quashed, limited, shelved regarding the ability to speak. Anybody who tells you that you can speak freely in this country, you don't know what you're talking about. This is the most repressive. Now, you're not thrown into the slammer. You're not sent to a gulag somewhere. You don't do that. So remember, rule number 1 today, my friends. Rule number 1, first lesson. Words mean something. Words are important. Words are, I found this the other day. I wanted to bring this to your attention. It was somewhere. It's one of my favorite. Oh yes, here we go. This is one of my favorite books ever. I have numbers of them. I have multiple copies. This is this is the best book. All of them are dog-eared. I've got old pictures and oh my God. It's called Dim Boxes, Epops, and Other Quidums. This is and it's by David Grams. This is some of the most arcane, recondite words that are the most beautiful things. And the more words you know, the more you think. Now, I am absolutely terrible when it comes to color words. My wife she says, hand me that. The sweater, what? The periwinkle. Periwinkle. Taupe mauve. Brown? I don't know what this. So I appreciate that. And the more that you learn about the ability to phrase words, the better you are. When I was a kid, remember when you had the crayons, Benny and Smith? Remember that? The Crayola crayons. You'd have that little box once you get to school, and then you'd get the set with the hinged lid and that little sharpener in the back. And you see, my God, there's 50, just 10 names for green. Dark green, olive green, forest green. Oh my God, you're right. That's a little darker than, wow, who knew green could be so multifarious in this? Who knew this? Let's say hate. Hate, loathe, abhor, detest, despise. Each one of them kind of a gradation, a little bit different. Words are critical. What you call somebody, your ability to speak, we are losing it. We are losing it. And the thing that is the most important is that when you speak publicly, not only are you trying to convey a particular idea and then excitement or whatever it is, but you have to be able to say things in a way where you are able to speak. And the more words you know, Because remember, when you change the way you think, the world changes outside. If you can describe things better. Let me also say something in passing. One of the reasons why people are so depressed is that they're unable to really explain the way they feel. They don't really understand how they feel. Now, here's our good friend. You know him, you love him. Mr. Cool Miser says, Trump offering to pay Kamala's campaign debt is brilliant. We would need access to all her bank records. Well, it's funny you say that. You must understand something also. This is what Trump is doing. Anybody have a cat here? Anybody ever have a cat? I'm an ailerophile. I don't have one now, but I had cats in the but cats to me they're so self-sufficient. They're wonderful. But there's a feral part. And a cat is a wild animal you bring into your home. A cat is something that is untrainable. And one time, sure enough, there was this little mouse or something. The cat never ate the mouse, but had it. And I was watching it, and I didn't extricate the mouse. The cat did not extend her claws, but it was like this. And the cat with the mouse would run, and they go like that, and bring it like this. And the cat would get down, they wiggle their butt, and they pounce. The feral part came in. This generations, this evolutionary, this atavistic, preternatural, this instinct. Didn't kill it, didn't eat it, didn't want to eat. I got the best food in the world for this cat. This cat, we would sit there and say, you like this? You ever do that? Here. Open this. It's called gourmet. What? You like this? Nah. Here, try this. You like this one? Nah. But a mouse? I always thought they should have the old jokes. People said they should have butt-flavored cat food because, it sits there and by the way, you do know why dogs do that, right? You know why dogs lick themselves? No, not because they can, because they can't make a little fist with their paw. Remember that. That's called a reverse joke. Give somebody the joke. See, women, you don't know this. Every guy knows this. It's important upon every father to teach all of the kids, all of their sons, how to tell jokes. The standard. Why they lick their balls. Another one, too, is two guys are walking. And you can make it ethnic if you want. I don't care. But two guys are walking. There's a dog licking himself. And somebody says, boy, I wish I could do that. And he said, yeah, well, you know what? He better pet him first because he looks mean. Anyway, jokes. So what Trump does is he does this. He does this. But this time I'm saying, no. This time, right here. Watch what they do. Watch what a real lion does. Goes right for the windpipe. That's it. Knows what he's doing. Nothing personal. Quick. Dispatches him. This is good for a while. President Trump, you got to do it. Go for the throat. Crypto says fiat currency is monopoly money, but what nobody ever tells us is that in the rules it says when you run out of money, you take out a sheet of paper and create new money, Trump money. It's interesting. By the way, Edward Ray Griffin, please listen to him. Thank you, Liberty N. Thank you so much. Please listen to him. Some wonderful stuff. There is this wonderful there's this, we can go into money forever. Do you remember Alan Watts? Alan Watts, the great philosopher. Alan Watts made this statement years ago regarding money. Wonderful. Just if ever you're in the background, put on Alan Watts, just listen to him. Brilliant. And somebody said, I measure things. I measure this. I measure this. This is 4 inches. This is 5 inches. This is 12 inches. This is this. He said, pretty soon I ran out of inches. So money is this thing that you got to understand the concept of it. Don't get too immersed in it. Because it's one of those things that people don't understand. Here we go. If you have a gold piece, okay, this thing, okay, why is this worth much? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody somewhere else said, this is worth this, but this is worth. Okay. You can argue this all day long. Money is natural, it's barter. Fiat money is required. Special drawing rights are required. Fractional reserve banking. Okay, I understand that. People for the first time said, you mean to tell me you can loan out more money than you have? It would be like having a casino that gives out all these chips. It doesn't have any. It just keeps handing you out chips, new chips. Like, but there's nothing backing this up. If I turn these chips back in, you can't give me any money. I know. So anyway, enough with that. Enough with that. Remember, don't worry about this. Fiat currency. Don't worry about this. Tabula rasa. Tabula rasa. Blank slate today, friends. Remember this. Just blank slate. The first thing we're going to talk about, the first rule is this notion of money. Not money. What am I saying? Definition. I just broke my own rule. Definitions. Now, number two. Where is, if you wanted to get the word across, where would you get your statement across? Okay. Well, the first question, trick question. What's the statement? Okay. Now, think about this. What statement? What do you want to do? How are you trying to get this? Years ago, when I first got into radio, we had this thing where we had in the old Arbitron. This is when radio was radio. You would say, "What's your demo?" Let's say you have a car dealership, and it's Bartow Lincoln Mercury. Okay, Lincoln Mercury. Who's your target? People. Well, actually, people. Let's say 40 to whatever. Okay, so you want, let's say, 25, 54, 54, 65, 35, 64. You like that? Yeah, it's good. It's kind of an overdone window of. So your target is 35 to 64-year-old. Yeah. White males. Yeah. Okay. Good income. Yeah. Good. What radio station you want to advertise with? How about Q104? No, it's a teeny show. They're 12 plus is good, but really they're actually younger. The 25 to 54 stink, but they skew younger. Now, if you want to sell Clearasil, go to that station. See how that works? Go to that station. We had a thing called WGUL or something. It was like easy listening. This is easy listening. Crypto says, this is the stuff I love about Uncle Lenny. Thank you, sir. So you find the audience that you want. Now, if I want to do something, if I have a product and I say my product is targeted towards African-American females, 30 years old, I'm going to go to let's say an urban station or a Hot 97 or something. It's where they are. When you go to the white guy, they're over there. People are different, right? So you got to figure out, where are the people? Sometimes you might want to go to Joe Rogan. Sometimes you might want to go to Shannon Sharp. Sometimes you might want to go to Charlemagne the God if he's in business. Sometimes it depends where you want to go. And my goal is to bring in everybody. I've got something for everybody. It's not me, it's this. Now watch this. First and foremost, this is the power of AI, but also the power of new messaging. Watch this.
It does not belong to one man, but to all. Let us together rebuild this world that we may share in the days of peace.
Now let me stop right there. It's a bit of a mixed thing. Do you see what this is for? This is one of the oldest themes of all time. I don't want to bring in any kind of Hitlerian reference, but Leni Riefenstahl, Caesar, Kaiser, Rome, from everything from the Parthenon, grandiose, rallies. We're not very good at it, but the idea of triumph, King Arthur, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, triumph. This is the message. Now, listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. Do you ever hear this in the other side? Do you ever hear anything from the left doing this? Do you? Do you ever hear anything from anything even, let's just use it for shorthand, from the left? Do you hear anything from the left? No. No. Anything? Do you ever see flags? No. Us? No. Unity, groups, yeah, team, freedom. Nothing. It's individualized, me, perturbed. I'm at home. I'm in my car. I'm cutting my hair. I'm dyeing it blue. I'm doing all this stuff. Do you see the difference? This is symbology. This is the message. What is the message of us? Welcome. Welcome. What's the message of them? You know that Slavoj Žižek, he's the sibilance, he's brilliant. But he has that thing, I don't know, he's whatever. And Raul says Trump triumphed to be king. Well, that's the way our reference is. The left can't understand this. Interesting thing here. Now I'm doing it. Slavoj says that in the old days of a fascistic, when Hitler would speak, he would speak and he would stand and he would go like this. But that's it. He spoke, he stopped, you stood up, and you clapped. Got it? This is fascism. Total and complete fealty to the leader. What Stalin did, he would make a speech, and he would get done, and he'd go like that. Why? He's not clapping for himself. He's saying, I'm joining you. I'm clapping the idea. I'm joining you. I'm just like you. I'm joining. I am it's participatory. The psychology of the group, this goes back to Le Bon, it goes back to you want to say propaganda, whatever you want. Getting people to think can be positive, getting people can be negative. In the military, we want unit cohesion. I do not want individuality. I want the murmuration. I want people to look random, but everybody's in lockstep in a good way. But the reason why these birds are doing this is not because they're enslaved. They want to. And the cohesion protects them. It's why they travel like this. Birds, starlings, is called a murmuration. They say because the sound of the murmur. Like, I never got close to it, but that's what they say. It keeps the heat and energy. And when they fly like this, when they do this, they're acting in concert. They're moving in concert. They're moving because they want to. And the masses make them safer because it scares off predators. Nobody wants to fly into that. Nobody says, those are just a bunch of little birds. And if you get it, no, it doesn't work. Schools of fish. This is about cohesion. Powerful. The whole notion of the fasces, the sticks. Take a stick, break it. Put a bunch of them together, you can't break it because you multiply. Force multiplier. There's all kinds of this. Okay, stop. That's us. Let's go to the left. What's theirs? There is no message. It's individual. It's me. It's I'm upset. I'm hurt. I'm sad. I'm afraid. I'm upset. I'm angry. See? Always me. I don't fit in anywhere. You get these people together, and what are they saying? Do those students at Howard University, did they meet in order to share collectively this idea of no? They joined forces because they hated Trump. It was about hating Trump. That's what it's about. It's not about us. And we're going to get together and we're going to spread the word, the holy word of, DEI or whatever the thing was. No. So that's the next one. Now, the next lesson, the power of Joe Rogan. It's not Joe Rogan. It's something. And it goes back to the notion of sitting around. Let's talk. Let's share. Come on in. FDR did it almost like we take this very important conviviation, this we're sharing ideas around the campfire, that kind of a thing. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's just us, we're just being together. The Rogan set is critical. The Rogan set. Oh, look at this. Bitcoin is at an all-time high this morning. Yeah, it's going to hit 100,000. Absolutely. Now, the reason why, thank you, Brad. The reason why people cannot ever change, the reason why CNN can't do this is that they would have to move Joe's set. Joe Rogan in another setting wouldn't work. I want Joe's relaxed. That's our living room. Pardon me, my friends, this damn thing. Let me see if I can do this. I just lost all of my carefully selected pieces, but let me see if I can do this. I think is this it? I'm not sure. Oh, that's not it. Okay. That's not it. Forgive me. Let me just jump to my other. There's no particular order. I'm not sure. I can't read what I've selected, so pardon me. There's one thing about StreamYard. You just touch this, and this is the unthinkable. We're changing the chapter headings just a little bit. This was unthinkable before. These are a bunch of African-American folks actually clamoring in support of Donald Trump and saying, by the way, the group was, na, hey, goodbye. What was the name of that group? Remember that one? Steam. Look at this. Did you ever think you would say this? Black solidarity, right? This is happy Trump, MAGA hats, all of it promoted by TikTok. Theoretically a Chinese, whatever, right? Do you understand what that was? That was worth more than the Van Joneses and the Jonathan Capehards and the Oprahs. By the way, Oprah, $1 million. $1 million. $1 million. They paid her for that stupid thing. Nobody did it for free. Came out as like 20 million. They just threw money away. This is a revolution we're seeing. Now, next one. Let me see this. I think we did this one. I'm not sure about this.
They're turning away people.
Okay. Forgive me. My apologies. I'm doing this in reverse order. This is the man that I would pick for my Secretary of Defense. This is Colonel Douglas McGregor. Here he is with Judge Andrew Napolitano.
The Russians are turning away people who are volunteering to fight in Ukraine. They have no manpower shortage, and they're healthy. It's the Ukrainians that have a manpower shortage and are losing airspeed and altitude every second.
What you're hearing right now is considered blasphemous to the John Boltons, to the neocons. He is absolutely. I have been his fan for I don't know how long. I have absolutely. He never speaks without absolute limpidity. He's pellucid. He is beyond rash. This is anathema to these people. He is the neocon's nightmare. He provides, in essence, a version of this thing called realism, which leads us to this person. This would be my selection for, I believe, for Secretary of State.
The NATO expansion from the get-go.
This is John Mearsheimer.
Tranche took place in 1999. The second tranche of expansion took place in 2004, right? The Russians screamed bloody murder both times. We didn't care. We just shoved it down their throat. They were weak. And when they're weak, you can do that. 1999, we succeeded. 2004, we succeeded. Then in 2008, we said, we're going to bring Georgia and Ukraine into NATO.
Remember Georgia? Remember that time? Remember Soviet Georgia? Remember how there was the first time Putin said, no.
The Russians made it very clear, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. We're going to resist. And if we have to, we'll destroy Ukraine. This was clear a long time ago. What did we do? We doubled down. We just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And what you want to understand is that from the Russian perspective, this is an existential threat. They have to win this war. They cannot afford to lose it. If you accept the argument that Putin is an imperialist and he's just bent on conquering some more territory and creating a greater Russia, and there's no really underlying security imperative, then you can cut a deal and end this war. But if you think that the Russians view this as an existential threat.
Now, this is the basis of his thesis that he refers to as realism. This is where you identify the issue, the situation, the target, the population, the country, and you understand how it, in essence, I'm really, this is a shortcut, how it really is, and not the way you want it to be, or the way you think it is, but the way it really is. Then you act accordingly.
You think about this conflict in very different ways. Because you're dealing with a great power that's armed to the teeth with thousands of nuclear weapons that sees itself facing an existential threat. Now, that's my view of the Russian perspective on how this has to end. They have to win. They cannot afford to lose.
Listen.
What is American policy and what is Ukrainian policy? American policy is we're going to beat them in Ukraine. This is, of course, Western policy. Norway's deeply involved in this. Our policy is to defeat the Russians, right? And also wreck their economy with sanctions. And also promote regime change and then put Putin on trial. And maybe even break apart Russia. This is our goal. We're going for victory. We think we can win in Ukraine. Putin has to win. We think we can win. And the Ukrainians, it's an open and shut case. Of course, from their point of view, they want to recover all their territory. And they want to weaken Russians as much as possible so that Russia can't pay a return visit. So the Russians are pursuing a clear-cut victory. The Ukrainians and the Americans are pursuing a clear-cut victory. What does this tell you? This tells you there's no diplomatic solution.
Yes.
There's no diplomatic solution to this one. This is why everybody basically understands that this is going to be a protracted stalemate.
Yep.
Right? Or at least they think it's going to be a protracted.
Let me stop right there. Follow him. This is Mearsheimer. This is the idea of Ukraine will be some kind of a rump state, some ineffectual thing. This is called realism. One of you geniuses wrote that Mearsheimer wants to send Americans to die for Taiwan. I don't know where that came from. You haven't listened to a word the man said. You haven't listened to a word the man said. This is one of the most important, and you should hear what he has to say and what McGregor has to say about Israel. This is shape-shifting. Listen to what I'm telling you. What is going to happen regarding their views of Israel is going to blow your mind. All right, let's don't spend too much. Here's the next one. I don't know what we're going to get with this, but let's see. What is this one here?
A lot of families out there.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now, I want you to see this. There is a fellow who is the prototypical textbook classic Upper West Side liberal type. This is the pain in the ass, Mike Stivic, meathead, sort of eggheady, the ones that you hate. These are the guys who walk around like the guys who have the cloth bag from the Strand. They wear Birkenstocks. They go to weird, art house film festivals. They're wonderful people, but they're just not connected to reality. And they love jargon. They love their own vernacular. Watch this carefully.
There are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
No, wait, stop right there. Now watch. This is the tripwire. Now in will come the bearded, bespectacled liberal, for lack of a better word, showing this false and faux and manufactured anger at the fact that he is transgressed, that he's transphobic. Bookmark this, because in 6 months, you will never see this lingo again. It will go the way of bell bottoms, vaudeville, and disco.
Not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table. I am not going to.
I am not going to listen to transphobia because I'm the gatekeeper, and I'm the gatekeeper. What?
The point that you call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word that's a slur.
What are they doing? Listen, class. Listen to me. He's not making. Remember, this goes back to the very first thing that we did. He's not arguing about the actual validity of the statement. He is nitpicking as to a label, and he's hoping he can divert the attention from the substance of what's going on and focus on this kind of a definitional kind of problem.
Going to interrupt. That's not how it is.
Jay,
they're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls softball. I'm not going to sit there and listen.
I'm not going to sit here because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. We saw this before a while back. Don't call her Kamala. That's a racist. You're a racist. Her name is Kamala. You're a racist. What does that mean? You're right. I don't know how to argue this, but I will talk about the definitional pronunciation of her name. This is classic.
For a second, because look, this is a really heated issue, right? And Sharmichael, I know you. I know that you understand that people have different views on this. I think out of respect for Jay, okay,
we're going to stop this just because it's boring as hell. Do you see this? Take a good look at this. It's over. It doesn't exist. Crypto says, ha, 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 ha. Curtis says, Dems trying to steal House seats, delaying counting, nervous GOP loses House. Trump, retruth, opinion, we'll see. Edie Crowley, no diplomatic solution in Israel and Gaza either. Absolutely. 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 Now, hang on a minute. Let me get rid of this one. Okay. Now, next piece. Remember what I just told you. Notice how they are definitional. They're punctilious and they are persnickety regarding this. By the way, it reminds me of words. There was that fellow, that case in the 90s, I forget it was, in Washington, D.C. The word used was niggardly, Niggardly, which means miserly. And I believe it was uttered by, I believe it was an African-American. Maybe I'm wrong. Might have been even Harvard educated, but it means miserly, cheap. Somebody was pulling the purse strings too tightly regarding something. And the word was niggard, Niggardly. The person who said that was, of course, forced to resign, even though there was absolutely nothing, even though it was a legitimate word, but somebody didn't like the sound of it. Okay. Okay. This is the, now this, let me see if you can get this one. Okay. Focus on this. This is a protest in New York City from people who are very upset with Donald Trump because they want illegals to, by the way, look at that beautiful city. Look at that. There are more people in this couple of blocks and in those buildings than in some cities. Think about this. So they don't want illegal immigration or illegal migration or illegal evasion to occur. This is their, nothing bothers them except this. And they hate Trump, and Trump is fascistic and all. Okay, fine. Now, I'm going to play this for you. And I want you to think if you see something which is very dangerous about what they're doing. All right? We will fight his hate. Hate. You see the word? Hate. Nazi, fascist, hate. We will fight. These people are clamoring for these folks to remain here, unable to be supported by virtue of infrastructure with your tax dollars. It's going to destroy schools. It doesn't matter. They're fixated, just like that liberal twit who's worried about words. Okay.
Hey, racist, sexist, anti-gay, Donald Trump.
There's nothing like a chant to me. Once you there's nothing to me from the sound of this. It sounds trivial. It sounds like you're just here for the beer. Now, also keep in mind, the most degenerates always zero in on the person with the mask. That's the real hardcore.
Go away, racist, sexist, anti-gay. Donald Trump.
We won't back down. Okay.
Go away, racist.
Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. What this says, Luca. Okay. Let me stop right there. A little bit of advice. If you are here illegally and you are subject to deportation, and one day there's going to be vans and buses and people saying, you come with us, like they do in every other country, like they would do for you when you weren't wearing a mask, or you didn't have your proper identification, your documentation, or you were 6 feet apart, or if you wore the MAGA hat, they would throw you out. You know how they do that, right? That was okay. That's okay. The last place in the world you should be is in front of cameras, so that through some visual recognition programming that I'm sure either Elon Musk or Peter Thiel, whoever put together, you're going on and you're telling people, here I am, I'm illegal. This is what I look like. Not a good idea. If you want to, please protest. It was peacefully, absolutely have no problem. This does nothing. This is part of the parallel universe they live in, like the bearded chap who was going, don't say transphobic. They don't know it's over. M says, I love your chant. Thank you. That's what it sounds like to me. Childish. They are absolutely out of touch. Okay, here's another one. Let's see what this one is.
You know what?
Okay, this is, all right. I can't emphasize this enough. Maybe I'm overdoing it. I don't think so. A black woman, I still love the word negress. I just think that's beautiful. Negritude. I just, sepia. Anyway, here is a woman, and you're going to say, okay, I know what she's going to do. What? she's going to spout the usual liberal thing. Well, because she's a black, young, her age. I've seen this before. She's going to say something either about Trump or whatever it is, or African, whatever, right? 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 Okay, listen.
You know what? I'm getting pissed off. It's been 72 hours since Trump been elected, and we are not getting what we voted for. We're not. And I'm pissed about it. I'm pissed because I could have sworn that these celebrities and these women on The View and all these places said that if we voted Trump in, that they was going to leave the country. And now I saw that the View, they showing up in black dresses just to mourn the president election, Trump being elected. That is not what y'all promised us. Y'all said that if we voted for Trump, that they will leave the country, and y'all ain't boarded a plane yet. And I'm getting frustrated. Trump, you got to do something about this, because I thought our vote was going to count. We did vote for that. That's what they not understanding. We voted for y'all to leave the country. And
I love that. We didn't vote for Trump. We voted for you to leave.
I thought that I would be seeing airlines being, filled up. Tickets would be hard to get because all the celebrities, all of Hollywood, all of these politicians, these journalists that said that if you get elected, that they was going to board the plane and leave. I can't no more.
Now, I cannot explain to you in and of itself that piece of the mosaic, that tile, that quantum, that ort, that little speck of information. It's so critical into the collective piece, the collective information scheme. Oh God, how I love it. I love it like you cannot believe. One more. Again, I don't know. Forgive me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this might be
Afraid of losing my rights because I understand that.
Okay, here we go. This is my new favorite. These are my gay brothers and sisters. So we have black folks celebrating Kamala's defeat. Black folks basically saying, get out. Now we have this fellow who does this about, the trans vote. Apparently, these folks you're about to see right now didn't get the memo, didn't really understand what they're supposed to say.
I'm not afraid of losing my rights because I understand that Donald Trump is not interested in taking any rights away from LGBTQ adults, but rather he is ready to wage war against these adults who have been harming and indoctrinating this country's children. How about you?
Oh, me? No, I'm not worried because when he was president, he stood up at the UN and demanded that homosexuality be decriminalized worldwide. Didn't they tell you about that on CNN? No? Oh, well, yeah, that happened. What about you?
I'm not afraid for my gay rights because Trump has already been our president. And last time he was our president, he had Republican control of the House and the Senate, and he still didn't do anything to our gay rights. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about losing any rights under a Trump presidency as a gay woman. How are you going to tell me he's against gay people when he literally had a gay wedding at his own house? How about you?
I am not afraid for my rights under Trump's presidency because President Trump appointed Richard Grenell, who became the first openly gay man to hold a cabinet-level position. I wouldn't consider that taking rights away. I think that's providing opportunity where it's never been given before. How about you?
Did y'all forget that he was the first ever U.S. president to enter office? Actually, even before he was entering the office, to be pro-LGBT.
Yeah, we're good.
This is the narrative that is acting as not as a wave, but as a tsunami, this avalanche. I have to calm down. It's like nothing I ever thought possible. Do you understand that? This is important. Explanation on of Kripo's laugh super chat. Your imitation on of Meathead was so funny, we had to send money. Thank you for this. Okay. I love your chant. Thank you, sir. Evan says, if Rue has loathing mechs to come at us, if Russia was, it would be the same as what the West is doing to them. Yes. I think we're talking about, yes, in terms of parity, like people have said, if all of a sudden China or Russia, somebody decided to man or to assemble a version of NATO at our border, they would be doing exactly the same thing. Busting me up, thank you, crypto. Do you see what's happening right now? I can't say this enough. I can't put this into words enough. I can't explain this enough. I can't. Nothing that I'm saying can possibly show you how I am just okay. Let me calm down. I want to show you one more thing. Is this it? Again, I'm so sorry.
1943.
I already did that one. Okay, I already did that. Hang on a minute. I'm sorry about that. That's Edward Ray Griffin. Please. Or E. Ray Griffin. Let me see. I want to show you one more thing. Did I miss this one?
It's genuinely different.
I got to watch this guy. Well, you know what? I can't because he makes me sick. I have a hard time. And I've got to tell you something. And maybe you're the same way. And I'm sure I invite people to think the same way. I'm sure I do. In fact, I know I do. The way I speak, the sound of my voice, believe me, I understand. I understand. Because there are some people I just can't listen to. That little boy is one of them. I don't know who he is. Oh, he's on MSDNC. They all look like Rachel. The Mark Cuban look, and this one looks. I just don't listen to him. The clipped faux pretends. I don't know. I can't listen to him. Jordan Peterson, can't do it. I hear 1 second, 1 millisecond. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know why. There are a few people that I just and I don't know. But what I'm saying is they are losing, my friends. Now, let me explain something to you again, which is also very critical. And I just want to always remind you of our dear friends. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, our friends at preparewithlionel.com are seeing, as crypto is going through the roof, as people are settling down and appreciating what is happening in this post-Trumpian world, I am telling you, in addition to everything else, Americans are realizing I am not going to be caught flat-footed in the event of some catastrophe. I am not. I'm going to have food. I'm going to have water, energy, and all of the devices needed to weather the storm, perhaps no pun intended. And that's why Prepare with Lionel is critical. There are deals aplenty now. Now is the time. After we're done, go to preparewithlionel.com and just see for yourself what plan, what package. Start off slow, but build up and invest so that if something goes wrong, you and your family know that when it comes to food, but a variety of food, 2,000 calories a day in any combinations you want. Vegetarian, vegan, high protein, low protein, more sweets, more savory, whatever it is, plus water filtration, generators, name it, preparewithlionel.com. It's just, you're too smart. It's an insult for me to say why emergency food makes sense. And one more time, we always say, our good friend Mike Lindell at mypillow.com, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. Christmas, my friends, is next month. Do you hear what I'm saying? Christmas is next month. And there is nothing. I'm telling you right now, the little bolsters, the ones behind it, to fine tune, because normally you get a pillow and you go, okay, that's nice. Okay. Or maybe you'll fold it and then screw it up. No. The bolsters are like that fine tune, like lumbar support. They're this perfect little, I can't live without mine. Preparewithlionel.com and mypillow.com/Lionel. Now, dear friends, remember, I want you to celebrate our victory. I want you to take tabula rasa. We start off, clean the slate. Forget the name of what you are. Forget whether you're a Republican or your race or your sex or your gender. Who cares? It has nothing to do with it. We're talking about something that is critical. Number two, do not focus on what people are saying from the other side only unless it helps define your ability to articulate your thought by virtue of your eliminating reality based upon what they're saying. Does that make any sense to you? What I mean by that is sometimes we don't know what we think until we hear people that we disagree with. And more importantly, we won. We won bigger than anything you can imagine. Mark Kalisha says their quantum computer super AI can't account for the tendency of the human spirit. Love these people. Go team humanity. You know, it's funny you say that. You know, Mark, that is one of the most profound things in the world. You're going to be asked, what does it mean to be human? And we'll have people who are able to think faster, think deeper. People who can situations that can, you know, they when the super or the AI computer systems or the systems beat the the game Go. Go is the most popular world game there is. It beats chess and everything like that. And there was this, I think it was a Chinese or somebody. He was the champion, and this one beat it. Okay. I want you now to understand that you might have something that can do quantum speed type of calculations, but to be human, a lot of bad stuff. We do some bad stuff. But for us to feel compassion, in order of, and when human spirit is great, there's nothing better. Judgment. Does it understand judgment? It's one of those things which is so critical. It's the judgment. The judgment. That's the thing. I told you this before, and I'm going to say it again. Younger people our kids and grandkids, they're very, very quick at things. You ever see this? I never learned this. This prehensile, whatever, this opposable thumb. I'm like this, or I'm a dictator. I love to dictate. I love it. Dictate also changes. Sometimes it hears my words differently. Like tyranny, for some reason, comes out tyranny. Like Lawrence Tierney, the actor. It doesn't hear tyranny. Maybe the way. So I find that when I dictate like this, it will work perfectly. It is wonderful. It's wonderful. So it misunderstands what I'm saying. And then sometimes it will, by virtue of a mistake, it'll create an inadvertent pun. But to make a long story short, young people can do things quickly, kind of like whack-a-mole, and they can learn it. Older people cannot. But what older people are good at is being able to look at two different situations and say, this is different than this. There is something missing in this piece that is here, and vice versa. And what that is judgment. Yeah, AI holds no judgment in the sense. Well, so far, AGI is not here, artificial general intelligence, but it might. But judgment. When people ask you, what is it that you know? The older you get, is it wisdom? Well, maybe, but it's judgment. It's experience, but it's judgment. I've seen that before. Can you imagine yourself dating now? Imagine in reverse. Let's assume God comes along and says, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to start dating. Your puberty is going to kick in when you're 30. I know that sounds weird, but it doesn't make any sense. You're going to be parents at 50, 40. You're going to be a better parent. You're relaxed. You know that's not a big deal. You're less pissed off. Young people who are too young to have kids, it's horrible. A lot of them are kids themselves, but it doesn't work that way because of nature and age and all that stuff. Have you ever had somebody, do you have a relative or do you have a sibling who is considerably younger than you, and how your parents treated that sibling differently than you? You're thinking, who's this? And the oldest, if you're the firstborn, you see your parents in a completely different light than somebody who's younger. Because your parents realize it's not important anymore. Classic example. The new mom, when they were bottles, the baby takes a bottle, throws it out the crib, there you go, incoming. And it would take it, sterile, take it up, put it apart, but whatever it is. Boil the nipple. Oh my God, it's going to. A little bit later on, baby, tosses the grenade. Mother picks it up and says, underneath the, maybe the hot water. That's good. Next, does it again. She goes like this, spits on it. Here you go. Take it. You learn through judgment what matters and what doesn't. You don't overreact. Take it easy. That's not important. That's important. That's not important. That's all we do. And then when we finally get it figured out, we die. And we're not really figuring it out, but that's what's going on. I am trying to tell people, I have been doing this a while now, political stuff. And I'm saying what's beautiful right now is not the politics. It's the psychology. It's the emotion. This is a revolution that we've been through. We are seeing things which you have no idea. I know people, I have one in particular who is a communist. Well, he says he's not. He says, I'm not a member of the party, but, he loves Trump. Why? Workers. Helping the workers. Putting people to work. Removing confiscatory taxes. Helping the working man, the working class. Get ahead. Form a business. Stop the regulations. Lower the taxes. Just enjoy capitalism. I know they talk about capitalism, and it has its raw. I understand it can be brutal, but this is a commie. He loves Trump because of what he represents. Trump is a savant. He represents things we don't even know. You don't realize this. He doesn't care about gay people. He doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. What do I care about gay? He's only been in New York his whole life. You know more gay people by the age of the third grade than most people do in a lifetime. Crypto says yes. Synchronicity, idiosyncrasies, providence. Yep, provenance and provenance, ladies and gentlemen. He's not what people say. They're using the wrong tropes, the wrong memes, the wrong tropisms. That's not what he's talking about. There is one, I want you to do me a favor. And this is the critical, let me see if I can show you this one. There's two. I can't play this because I'm not sure what YouTube, there's a lot of stuff by virtue of the language. I think it's irrelevant, but that's me. I want you to hear this one in particular. I'm going to give you this link. And this is so important. Oh, here we go. This one is Cat Williams. Here's the link. I'm copying the link and I'm going to put it into here. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Click this on. He does F's and MF and N's and everything, but it's brilliant. Brilliant. Oh my God. And the best, if you want to see one thing today, one piece, where is this? One. Where? I got to show you this one. This is the one that, let me find it. Oh, here we go. One on burning sage. This is great. When people are arguing, it's a Native American thing where you take sage and you bundle it and you burn it. It really, there's something to be said for this. Anyway, let me find this one thing for you. That's not it. Hang on a minute. No, please talk amongst yourself. This is worthwhile. You're going to want me to show you this one. This is the one you've got to see. And I swore I put it up today. I'm going to try it again. I want you to see this. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. I know. I know you can't see this. I know this is boring, but I'm going to find this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is the one. Okay. I got it. Please promise me you'll see this one. This is from YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever. This will blow your mind. It is so perfect. It is so delicious. It's wonderful. Crypto says you should deliver door to door and burn sage in the truck. Oh, let me tell you something. There's something to be said for that. My talk to text works best is I use my Uncle Fester accent. Interesting. Yes. I talk like this in the way that I speak in this kind of a punctuated thing. Yes, you're right. Listen to what I'm telling you. And if I told people to see, you'll get it. This is why I love, let me just make an admission to you here. The reason why I love this so much is you're my therapy because I don't meet anybody like you. And if I told you this, I know you're gonna say, well, okay. When I say something to you, you may disagree with me, but you'll understand it. You're not saying, what? Did you hear when he said that there may be more to 9/11 than what? You're not going to do that. In fact, I've got to always calm you down. No, wait. No, calm down. I'd rather calm you down than calm you up or pep you up. That's why I love doing this, because I can talk to you and you'll say, I got it. I got to tell you something. Last night when I was on with Sean Atwood, it was just, oh my gosh, beautiful. There is a connection. And I realized, oh my God, this is the people's grand jury. This is a group of people. This is like a Russell tribunal almost, how we get together. Tonight's subject was the Trump-Musk administration target shadow government conspirators. Let me give you an example of something. And I'm going to do something on a very simple level. I am a retired Catholic. I've got nothing against the Catholic Church, priest. I spent my time from kindergarten through high school in Catholic school. I was never spanked. I know you might have been. I was never touched. I knew of nobody who was either sexually or whatever abused by anyone. Never, ever, ever. Believe me, we would have heard about it. Never heard it. Never. The people I loved the most were the nuns, but followed by whatever it is. Okay? Okay. Later on in my professional life as a trial lawyer, got involved in all of this abuse and sex. Okay. Let me tell you how it works. Now listen to me carefully. You take somebody who is a priest, but before he's a priest, in the old days, especially then, he was plucked out of society. And he all of a sudden was held to the esteem. We have a priest in the family, especially in some particular ethnicities and demographics. A priest was the rock star. You know, my cousin's a priest. You walk around with that collar today and people say, wow. Say what you want. It's like being a cop. The uniform. People look at you differently. They respect you differently. You're treated differently. But they plucked you out of you weren't allowed to grow sexually normally. You didn't have girlfriends, or maybe you were gay, whatever, but you never allowed yourself to figure yourself out. You never flirted and made mistakes and figured these things out, because there is nothing more interesting when you have a son in particular, or a boy or a girl, but and they have their heart broken for the first time, and you sit down and say, kid, get ready for this. This is something this is when hormones, it's like, what is this? What is this? What am I feeling? What's going on? All of a sudden, girls are like, and then one day, all of a sudden, hey, and you're not sure what it is. I had a friend of mine, one of my dear friends today, who, when he was going through this at first, he didn't know he was gay, because nobody comes up and says he was feeling something. And he liked women, but he didn't. He was a kid. This one liked women, but what does that mean? Nobody's actually having sex. So they all start off kind of like, okay, I like women. I like women too. I want to do their hair, but I want to, whatever. But it's different. And as it grows up, you have to settle down, and you realize, oh, I see what that means now. And by the way, if you do have a child who is gay, love the child to say, whatever you do, I love you. Just remember that. Whatever, however you want to go is fine. But be yourself. Recognize who you are. That's all. Be true to yourself. Tapsum cognosci. Know thyself. Be thyself. That's it. Okay. So then later on, you normally go in, 8th grade comes along, and then high school, and then pretty soon it's like, wait a minute, you go to school and you realize, hey, guess what? I like that guy, and maybe I'm gay, or maybe I'm not, or I like that girl, and you know, she asked me out, and I'm feeling kind of weird. Okay, now you're 14, and then you're 15, and then maybe you start getting into, maybe you start experimenting, and next thing you know, you kind of figure this thing out, and then there's proms, and there's all that, and then you just kind of settle in. But you need that runway to take off, to figure it out, to, you know, okay. In the old days, they would say, pull you out, put you in the monastery. There you go. Or the seminary. There you go. Now you're on your way to priesthood. And you're in with a bunch of guys, some of them who were gay. This is then. Some who were hiding out. Some of them who sought respectability. Some who were just straight and just were called by the Spirit of the Lord and all this. But you were pulled out of the normal progression. And I'm not done yet. That's what happened to Michael Jackson. It's Arrested Development. That's what happened. When you read the depositions of what these kids said, a lot of his activity was childish. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Let's giggle. Let's do this. There was some other stuff too. But it was a child who was going back and reliving what he should have been doing as he got older. When he was a kid, his older brothers were bringing girls into the room, and it just screwed him up. That's what happens. Okay, now let me keep going. There's a reason for this. Now we get into this church. Now listen to me. Priest is there. Somebody says, you know, there's, how do we say this? It's not merely that they want to have relations with each other as priests, but they'll see somebody who's younger. They'll see somebody who's a boy. They'll see somebody. And what happens? Why is that important? Because that's the development that they should have had and appreciated then, but they didn't because it was interrupted. So they're basically acting as a 13-year-old in a 25-year-old body. It's picking up where it left off. It's like alcoholism. If you stop drinking now, good luck. If you go 5 years and you pick it up again, you don't pick up where you left off. You pick up where you would have been. It's progressive. It's dangerous stuff here. So these people are basically acting out based upon what they were then. Now, let me finish. But you've got any choice. Priest A talks to Priest B. What's that? Conspiracy. A confederation of two or more people hiding something. Two or more people. And you say, do they know about this? They know about this. Who knows about it? They know. You meet the other priest, let's say. And by the way, this is not, this goes on in little leagues, it goes on in rabbis, it goes in, it's not just, I'm just giving this as an example. This is by no means suggesting that only the Catholic Church does it. It's merely illustrative. But what they do is, then later on they meet somebody. Now we got three people. This is a conspiracy. Then you have these folks who know about it. You've got at the rectory, oh, it's an interesting name. The rectory, you've got a father who's got to keep this under wraps because if this gets out, somebody, the bishop will be upset, and now the conspiracy grows. And then it rises to the top. In the old days of the Vatican, there was also this thing that was called crimin, not crimin. There was an encyclical that basically dealt with how to threaten people with excommunication if they were to. It's a long story. Criminalis, something or other. Okay, I'm not done yet. So this develops, and the next thing you know, you have these schools of thought in the Catholic Church within the 60s where they said, hey, you know, this child preference, you know, maybe it's a mental illness. Why don't we treat it like alcoholism. Let's take the priest away and have him go to another parish and start all over again. There was a comedian one time who said that in the world of SeaWorld, when there was an orca or some cetacean animal that reacted, probably because of abuse, they would move it. They don't eliminate the animal. They move it to SeaWorld of Nashville. That's what the Catholic Church did. They moved this one over here. The next thing you know, it's a conspiracy. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. It is a cadre. It is an organization. It is a cabal. And always look at the definition. Cabal is a small, secret group of people who work together to promote their own interests or views, often at the expense of others. The term can also refer to secret plots and the schemes of a group. And the word comes from the Hebrew Kabbalah, which means received or traditional lore. It also relates to the Jewish mystical interpretation. But it's a fascinating, the cabal. In the 17th century, the word was used to describe secret councils of the king. There's a cabal. Are you listening to me? It is human nature for evil to congeal, to coalesce, to confederate into a conspiracy. Remember, conspiracy, to breathe with, it's the organizational. Conspiracy is, for example, if you and I say, hi, how are you? This is my friend Jay. This is my friend. Is it a conspiracy? No, he's just my friend. Okay, great. Now, if my friend, and we start saying, we're going to meet tonight, and at midnight, then it becomes a conspiracy. That's all it is. And it's the organization. Crypto says, do you think AGI will be used to manipulate that to smart humanism? I can't even tell you where AGI will end. But thank you for that. Returning to this. It is human nature. Listen to what this is, the big finish here. It is human nature. And we see it all over. When one person does something and two people do it, next thing you know, the conspiracy grows. Take a piece of bread. Just take a piece of bread. Get it wet. I used to love doing this when I was a kid. Guys, get a petri dish. Go under your bed or behind the refrigerator. Anyway, someplace where there's dust. And put it in a petri dish. Just cover it. It's natural. It's there. All of these little spores and these precursors and these agents, all of them, put them in the right circumstances, and you get mold, and you get, who knows, you might get penicillin, you might get something that's whatever. That's human nature. We recognize conspiracies, and they hate us for it. We know what they're doing. We're the people in the audience who tells a magician, I know how you're doing this. You've got a fake thumb. You're putting the scarf in here. Here, this is, they hate that. Don't do this. You're ruining the craft. I love when people, I don't want to see the magician. I want to see how the magician does it. That's what we do. We're telling people, not only do you not have any clothes, and perhaps no clothes, we know what you're doing. And we study these things all the time. And every time we do, what do they do? They tell us we're crazy. We love this. Read Griffin. Just go back to everything. And sometimes when somebody wants to tell you about these things that actually did happen, it's not going to be some Oxford Don or the provost at, Cal. No, it's going to be on Alex Jones. They're going to look like Alex Jones because those are the people that find it interesting. Let me ask you something. I was talking to a friend of mine. Have you ever studied crop circles? Anybody? I'm changing the subject. Have you ever talked about crop circles? True or false? Crop circles. Not all crop circles, but crop circles. Those things in England and the wheat and the whole bit with these designs. Crop circles, true or not? Yes or no? Answer me. Kathleen says yes. Yes. True. Yep. They have been true. Let me tell you something about crop circles. This is the most important. You go, this is the most important. This is a guy with a board, and he has this board, and he goes around and says, okay. You ever hear that one? It's a guy in a field with a board. He has a board, a plank or something, and he has a rope, and he kind of steps around. Okay, good. All right. Now, I want you to thank God for it. Listen, as soon as drones came along, we saw these things. I want you to go up and take a picture of this particular design. It's like a mile. Okay. Now, let's you and I try to replicate this. First of all, we're drunk. It's Saturday night. We got to do this normally at night, so it's dark. If you're out there in the middle of the day, say, what's he doing? Oh, it's Jerry. Jerry's got the plank on. He's trying to mimic crop circles. You have to do it during the day, which, of course, leads to detection. But anyway, and you can't do it at night. Now, there we are, and we're flat. And I say, Jerry, how big is this one going to be? A mile. Let's make it 300 feet. Okay, that's good. Now, there's wheat and there's whatever it is. Here's the design. I can't see. Jerry, can you run that drone up? We don't have a drone. Oh, yes, right. This is too early. How is it concentric? How is it perfectly uniform and spaced? Why are the circles? I'm at the ground level. I can't see 600 feet, 500. I can't. Me and Jerry are going to plot this out. And we have the design. Okay, let's stop. How are we doing? I don't know. Why? Because I'm on the ground. I need to go up to look down. I can't do this. But immediately when you bring this up, they will tell you, you are crazy. You're crazy. Evan Webb says, my mother would not let me be an altar boy. She thought too many were bees. I think she may be something to that. I think I would probably feel the same way. Sorry. I mean, how many? I think if my son were to do Little League, I would sit there and say, can I meet your friend, the coach? Yeah. Hi. This may sound weird to you, Coach. Coach, is it Coach Lafferty? Hi, how are you? Dick Azenia, nice to meet you. Listen, just want to let you know, we checked you out. We know everything about you. Oh, yeah. What do you mean? We know everything about you. In your background, got a clear record, yeah. You're not going to ever do anything stupid, right? Oh, I want people flat out to know. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. You want to get in your kids? Prepare. You want to talk about a top secret clearance? You want to get in your kids? That's why I would never be a coach. Sleepovers? No, that's a little late now, but no way. No way. But let me go back to what I'm saying. There is the Trump-Musk administration. That's right. Trump and Musk. We never elected him. So what? Billy Graham had a very interesting aspect of connection with Nixon and Reagan. What's wrong with Trump? This changes everything. Trump gets it. If you sat down with him and say, let me explain to you about the deep state. Oh, I understand it. And the shadow government. I know it. Let me explain to Elon. I get it. I get it. We're not going to ask anymore how things work. We are human beings. I know how this thing works. I know it. You know it too. There are people who do some pretty bad stuff, like a piece of bread with the water under the bread, you put it in the petri dish, and all this stuff grows. When you have government and you have money and billions and entertainment, and you have these people, that's it. When you have people in the entertainment business that go back to the first, to Ben Turpin, Clara Bow, the first PDF file was, if you think about it, Charlie Chaplin. This was then. Charlie Chaplin, United Artists, Charlie Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, Charlie Chaplin. Who do you think Charlie Chaplin's going to attract? Additional Charlie Chaplins. United Artists. Those people say, it's okay. Why? They got Charlie Chaplin. Forget Fatty Arbuckle. Freaks from the beginning. It's a piece of bread. And look, hey, you got a freak here, a freak here. I can tell you Clara Bow stories. I can't do it now. Clark Gable. Oh, dear God. Jean Harlow. And oh, my. You can't believe it. Bob Hope. That's later on. Oh, God. But let's go back to this. The very beginning of the entertainment business, Hollywood, motion pictures, not music. Music came a little bit later. Yeah, there was music, but before the whole. The very people who started it were freaks. That starts it. Hey, you're a freak. No, I'm not. I'm an actor. I'm talented. Okay. Marlon Brando, a freak. Jack Nicholson. Oh, you don't think so? Warren Beatty in those days? Dennis Hopper? That's just the 60s. Let's go back. Especially Louis B. Mayer. Oh, my God. They used to sit there and bring in these cattle calls. These young ladies would come in off the bus from Des Moines. You've got freaks, skeeves, pederasts, name it. The Rat Pack, Sinatra, that's current. So you ask the question, what do you think was the initial attraction? Why are there so many? Diddy is the perfect manifestation of the progression of this disease. And then you get a lot of other people who are uneducated, drug addicted, who are freaks, who go and say, by the way, if I exhibit my freak among these people, I will raise my cachet in the world, so to speak, by virtue of how I am acting. You see what I'm saying? They will like me more if I'm freakier. Rick James was nothing compared to what we're talking about. We know this. This is a no-brainer. So when these idiots say, where did you ever? Oh, Raul says Shirley Temple. You can only imagine. She was rather tight-lipped about that. So when these people tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist with your crazy ideas, that these people, oh, really? So you think we just made this up? Is that it? Yeah. Let's talk about another one, freak. Ted Kennedy. The Kennedys. I've got a book. I got to show you. You, from Jackie, her sister, their father, this, if 10% is correct, oh my God, oh dear God, Ethel Kennedy, Skakels, the freaks, Ted Kennedy, waitress sandwiches, he was disgusting. These were pigs. And this apotheosis of Bobby Kennedy, who basically got his, these are degenerates. How about starting off in that family with Joe Kennedy used to have Gloria Swanson at the breakfast table. And he's telling all his boys, I'm doing Gloria Swanson. And Rose, that, this Catholic, hey, hello, with the Mandia and the rosary, give me a break. These are degenerates. And you ask me where I get this from? And then this group, guess where I said this group, and then post-World War II, we've just conquered everybody. We are the biggest, baddest. OSS is through the roof. Now they're getting clever. Let's go in. Let's get Castro. Let's get communism. Let's give the poison. We're going to meet with the mob. We're going to bring them in. We're going to, not Barbarossa, but that was Nixon. I mean, Hitler. But they were going to kill. What was it called? Mongoose. They were going to kill Castro. You've got these degenerates. Let's take prostitutes. Remember the girl, the prostitute? These are sick people. Dulles and his brother, Alan Dulles, was a freak. Lyndon Johnson, a degenerate, most probably killed his sister, Josepha. We can go on and on and on. And that Chris Hayes, that little twit, is telling me that I'm crazy because I've only been listening and reading. It's as clear as day to me. But what they do is they try to make you sound like you're crazy. They did this during the Stalin. They said, you're crazy. See, nobody tolerates crazy. You can be wrong. You can be a Republican. You can be this. But if you're crazy, you're just dismissed because of this attitude we have towards mentally ill. Be not afraid, my friend. Remain steadfast. Do not let them dissuade you from the truth. And the only reason why it's the truth is why else would we be going after it? They make us out to be crazy. Well, guess what? We've just found a home and we've been sitting dormant. Like a herpes lesion, we've been in the spinal cord of the country, just lying in wait. And Trump's back and we're back. And you're going to hear stuff that's going to blow your mind. Watch that. Watch this. Watch this one. I think this is the one. Yes. Watch that. Just put it up there. Watch this. This is, and then AI. Oh, Elon Teal, Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, by the way, started off with this crazy idea that they were actually going to do something to help society. They were going to actually help society. They wanted to make, and Bill Gates came in the opposite. Oh, Bill Gates is through. You see Bill Gates trying to kiss Trump's arse? No way. You had enough? An hour and 43 minutes with me? You had enough? You got it? You got it? Never let them tell you you're wrong. Let them prove to you you're wrong. Let them show you the error of your ways in proof. But don't let them just say, you're crazy. Why am I crazy? You're a Nazi. Why am I a Nazi? What is a Nazi? What is a communist? No, explain it. Just remain steadfast. You want them to go up to you and say, don't mess with this guy. He's not to be trifled with. He knows what he's talking about. Let's go to someplace else. It's like what predators do. They find children who are weak. They don't go after the tough ones. They don't go after the mother. Go, I'm going to tell my mom. It's okay. We don't want that kid. We want this one who's easily scared and cowed and freaked out. That's what they want. You got it? You paying attention? Huh? Good. All right, my friends. Isn't this fun? You having fun? Raul Rodriguez, Evan Webb, Crypto Domini, I thank you. Barry Taylor, Mark Kolisha, Lisa PM. Sounds like a cold medication. Thank you so much, Lisa PM. Non-drowsy. M. Fret Pound, Curtis, Edie Crowley, Brad Rung, The Liberty Lens is a new member. Thank you so much. Mr. Cool Miser, Crypto Domini, thank you. Make sure every one of you is to ensure you are a member of Lionel Nation. Also, jump over to Lionel Legal. There's going to be this perfect ad mixture. Lionel Legal. And for the absolute best when it comes to a world devoted to protecting children, remember, children are what you were. Children are not from another planet. They don't stay children. You know that, but you got to remind yourself. Go to Lynn's Warriors. Mark says, lastly, what do you see as the Dems play to thwart Don's inauguration? Nothing. Whatever. Bring it on. It is a different world than it was 4 years. What are you going to, because now we just say, see, this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They have no power. We have the power of truth. You laugh, but if all of a sudden there is this huge TikTok and an X wave of people saying, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I got the trick. I know the hack. I know what you're doing. They can't do it. We've exposed it. That's what they're doing. This is what they're doing. And let them talk. Put them in a room. CNN is going to be a cruise ship. Bring them on. Welcome them on. Everybody come on the cruise ship. We're going to have everything for you. CNN, MSDNC, ABC, The Atlantic, Mother Jones. Come on the big cruise ship. And we wave goodbye and we just send them off. And then we kill the engines and we have them food, but they're just out there. And they talk to themselves and they'll never know the difference. Because they don't want to interact with us. They're not interested in the world. They'll just be out there. As long as they can talk to each other, they're happy. So plan, do all this stuff. Just sit and have your little shows. Have Bill Maher, snake. He's trying desperately to get back with Trump. Please. Trump knows who was with him the whole time. Anyway, they're out there in the Pacific. They don't even know. They're not coming back. As long as they have their friends to talk to and they can chant. That's it. Meanwhile, we're running the world. Let me say this again. We run the world. Not we are the world. We run the world. Be happy. Celebrate this. If you don't be surprised if you don't really understand how great this thing is, because it's that shocking. My friends, I love you. Thank you so much. An hour and 48 minutes straight with you. 1 hour and 40 minutes. 48, and you have been here the whole time. God bless you. We'll see you next time tonight at 7 p.m. Have a great and a glorious night. Other stuff dropping during the day. And until then, my friends, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dead.